Welcome back to our series of 200 ultra hard PMP practice questions. I'm Andrew Ramdial. I'm the author of the book, PMP Exam Prep Simplified, Amazon's best-selling PMP study guide, and the creator of Udemy's best-selling PMP course. All the links for those are in the description below. Now, let's continue our series. This is going to be questions 81 to 90. So let's just get right into it in this video. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, guys, practice question 81. In the middle of an urban development project, the project manager faces a setback as a key engineer and an urban planner announced their imminent departure from the team. The project is already on a strict timeline with critical milestones approaching. The remaining team members are concerned about the increased workload and the potential impact on the project schedule. What should the project manager do? Increase the workload on team members to cover the task of the departing individuals. Outsource specific critical tasks to specialized firm to keep the project on schedule. Work with the remaining team members to recruit new members to complete the workload. And apply for a project timeline extension due to unforeseen staffing challenges. Now, in this particular question, which is something that you're going to see common on your exam, is that somebody left. Some team members left. What do you do? Well, there's a couple of things you don't do, and there's a couple of things you should be doing. For example, one of the things here that we shouldn't be doing ever on any test question is never work people overtime. Never overwork anyone. Part of the mindset tells us that when you are managing a team, never overwork them in any scenario. Now, in real life, it may be acceptable, but for your exam, if that choice seems, you're reading it and you're like, hey, we're going to be working this guy overtime. We're going to be overworking the employees. Never an answer. Get rid of that. Outsourcing, not something you can do right away. All right. Although they may solve the problem, it's not something you can do right away. You have to go through a whole procurement process. Apply for it. This is going to require some form of a change request. You just can't apply for that. The best thing here you can do is to work with the mindset and make sure that you involve your team members to help you. Remember, let the team help you. Let the team figure things out, not just you figuring it out. And in this scenario, the best choice here is to work with the team to help them recruit new members. In other words, you're making them involved. You're bringing them on the project, or I should say on the issue. 82. A firm planning to transition to lean development techniques, the project manager encounters resistance from several worldwide stakeholders who are wary of the new processes. The project manager needs to build confidence in lean methodologies amongst the stakeholders. What should the project manager propose? Schedule meetings with the stakeholder to address concerns. All right. Introduce a reward systems for early adapters of lean techniques. Okay. Adapt the lean development. Accept that lean development will not work in all companies. Organize a company-wide seminar on the history and principles of lean. Now, this one here, although I said this was ultra hard, this one should be pretty easy. Couple of things here that you don't want to do is if you ever read a question and it seems like one of the choices is to do nothing, it's not the answer. Never do nothing. All right, always remember that. So in that one, I'm going to eliminate C right off the bat. And the reason is because in this one, you're just saying, okay, I guess lean development doesn't work, and you just move on. If the choice is to do nothing, that's not the answer. Introduce a reward systems for early adapt. Well, they already don't want it. But you putting that in place, they already don't want it. So you telling people, oh, there's going to be some kind of reward. You have to figure out what their concern is. A company-wide, this is the history and principles of lean. It's not addressing their concern. The best thing here you can do is to meet with them, see what exactly they don't like, and then you can explain the benefits to them, making that the best answer. 83. Leading a significant initiative to overhaul a corporation's IT infrastructure, the project manager has already navigated through several phases successfully with the CTO. Overseeing the initiatives departs unexpectedly. Oh, when the CTO departs unexpectedly. Okay, so a major person is leaving. The incoming CTO then pauses the initiative, pending a comprehensive review of the project alignment with the company's revised technological direction. What is the most effective first step for the project manager? So basically, what should you do first? So in this question, we have a key stakeholder is leaving, new stakeholder, or I should say left, new stakeholder comes in, basically what do you do first? Arrange a meeting with the new CTO to outline the project benefits and strategic alignment. Prepare a detailed report comparing the current project status with industry standards and trends. Initiate a project audit to demonstrate compliance with best practices and regulatory requirements. Develop a contingency plan addressing potential changes requested by the new CTO. Okay, let me say this first. Common question on the exam. You're going to find somebody left, a major stakeholder is left. What do you do? Well, there's a couple of things you don't do. Like, just don't change anything around. The best thing here to do when somebody leaves and somebody new comes in is to meet with that person. Understand what that person is. Understand what that person wants. Explain what this project is about. This is definitely the best answer. Prepare a detailed report. You probably want to do this after you meet with the person. Initiate a project audit to demonstrate compliance. Not yet. Meet with this person. Outline what the project's benefits are. Remember, this person is saying, well, is this project aligned? Yes. What you want to do is you want to go and meet with the person and show them before doing this. So I would do A, maybe then B, then C. Develop a contingency plan addressing potential changes requests. Not yet. Meet with the person first. Now, I want to point out something about this question. You see, those three choices are not incorrect, but they're asking what to do first. Maybe at some point we are going to develop a contingency plan to address potential changes. Maybe at some point we're going to audit it. Maybe at some point we're going to prepare a detailed report showing how a detailed report comparing the status of the industry standards. Maybe we're going to do those things. But the first thing you want to do is to meet with them, discuss, see what this person is about, see what exactly they're looking for, making A the best answer. 84. In the midst of estimating tasks for a major upgrade to an existing application, a project manager finds that the development team has different views on the effort required for a particularly challenging feature. What should the project manager do to synchronize these varying estimates? Okay, simple question. You have team members with different views on what an estimate should be. What do you do? Suggest implementing a quick prototype to better gauge the necessary effort. Allow the team additional time to research and independently reassess their estimates. Okay, request each team member to detail their estimation process and foster a group consensus. All right. Assign the task estimation to the most experienced developer to set a standard. Okay, let's see the best answer here. You got team members, can't agree on an estimate. What do we do? Best answer here is to bring them together. So in this one here, let them detail their estimation process together. We want to and foster group consensus. Maybe they don't understand how they're coming up with their estimates. Maybe Bob doesn't understand how Tom is getting his estimate. Maybe Jane doesn't understand how Bob is doing his estimates either. This would be the best answer here. Now, suggest a quick prototype. I'm not sure I think a prototype is going a little far. Before we do that, the best thing here is to let the team work together. Allow the team additional time to research and independently. The best thing here we don't want them to do it independently. We want them to do it together. Foster group consensus. Let the team work together. C is definitely better than B. Assign the task estimation to the most experienced. Never give away the work. Just don't say, okay, you do it all and let the team. In this way, this is kind of like a force-in conflict solution. In this one, you're saying, okay, you do it all and the rest of you guys just depend on that person. In other words, you're eliminating the rest of the team. 85. During the rollout of a new e-commerce platform, an agile project manager observes a trend of customers gravitating towards a competitor's site, which recently introduced a highly user-friendly checkout process. What is the first action the project managers should do? Engage in a detailed discussion with the product owner about any recent customer feedback or shifts in market trend. Intensify the development effort on refining the existing features to make them more competitive. All right. Pause the introduction of additional features to prioritize a complete overhaul. Add a new user-friendly checkout process. This one here, work with the mindset. All right. If you are working on a project, especially as the question points out, an agile project, and you see something that should be added to the application, what do? Well, go to the product owner, work with the product owner, let them know about customer feedback, saying that, hey, there's some checkout, maybe the product owner already knows, and only the product owner can put it into the product backlog. You should never add something to an agile project unless you're the product owner. Never just pause either. Never stop a project just like that unless you're going to kill someone, unless you're breaking the law, unless it's against a regulation. Intensify the development efforts on refining the existing feature to make it more competitive. That's not something you can do. That goes back to the product owner once again. 86. In the process of initiating an advanced analytical platform to enhance data-driven decision-making across its various functions, an organization is integrating a solution that is new to its technological landscape. What should the project manager emphasize? Evaluation of the platform's capability with legacy data systems and user adaptability. Okay. Precise needs analysis within the key business sectors to ensure the platform meets specific objectives. Okay. Broad consultation on future-proofing the platform against evolving data analytical analysis technologies. All right. Streamlining cross-functional workflows to minimize disruption during the platform. Now, this question, my team made it, and the wording is complex. Like I read it, I had to read it 2 times to see what it wants. If you read it carefully, it's actually pretty easy. All right. I found this question after reading it 3 times. I'm like, obviously that's the answer. But the wording, the big wording, it just gets you. You just got to read it a few times. Maybe you did that too, but let me show you the answer and I'll show you why it's an easy question. So first of all, it's in initiating. The project is just getting started. What is something you're going to emphasize in initiating? It's collecting those requirements. It's making sure that the project meets its objective. It's making sure that the scope is actually something that should get done in this industry. Remember, in the process of initiating, you're doing the business case. That's one of the inputs to the project charter. So that's what this is. Notice this one here, precise needs analysis. This is important. What you're doing with precise needs analysis is you are making sure that, hey, this project will meet the sector that it's being built for. Now, here's where the other ones are wrong. Streamlining cross-functional workflows. I like that, but I'm going to put an X on it for a reason. Broadcast future-proofing. I like that. I'm going to put an X on it. Evaluation of the platform. I like that, but I'm going to put an X on it. All of these are good to do during initiating, but B actually includes A, C, and D. When you're basically doing B, you're basically doing everything else. One of the things you want to do on this exam is if you come to a question and it looks like the answers are very specific, very, very specific, and you can't determine that A, C, and D are specific to that platform or analytical thing that they're doing. Go with a broader answer. Remember, a broad question should get a broad answer. A specific question gets a specific answer. 87. During the second sprint of a software development project, it's observed that one team member frequently dictates Scrum meetings, leading to diminished input from other team members and hinder progress on tasks. The team members' dynamics are affected, and there's a growing concern over the project's collaborative environment. What should you do? Implement anonymous feedback system to collect opinions. Okay. Reassign the dominating team member to tasks that requires less collaboration. All right. Shift to written daily updates to reduce the opportunity for any single person to dominate discussions. Okay. Arrange a private conversation with the dominating team member to discuss their conduct's impact on the team dynamics. All right. This here, it's a complex one if you don't know the mindset. If you do, it's not that difficult. Expect a question on the exam like this, where you're going to get somebody is doing something bad on a project. Generally, it's an individual problem. And when there's an individual problem on a project, your best thing to do is to deal with that individual individually. A couple of things you shouldn't do. Don't fire them. Don't remove them. The reason is because this person may not know. They may feel like they're doing something great. Listen, I've been in meetings when I dominated it too, and I thought I was really helping them. And then the boss came to me later and says, Andrew, don't ever do that again, because you were making people upset. You weren't giving people the time to talk. And I didn't realize it because I was excited. You know, when you get excited, you really want to put out your opinion there. So meet with that person. The person may not be a bad person. They just may not realize it. So let's meet with them one-on-one. We don't need a feedback. You can already see it. So that's not going to help. Shift to written. Don't move away. Anytime you have an issue, don't go around the issue. In this one, you're just saying, okay, so what are you going to do? Never have meetings again? Don't go around the issue. Go straight to the issue. Solve the issue. Remember this on your exam. Does this choice hit the issue, or is it going around the issue? In C, we're going around that issue. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and you're learning a lot, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. I know I hate asking all the time, but it just helps us out a lot. YouTube does not prioritize our video if you guys don't click that like button, so please click that like button. During a critical phase of a technology implementation project, extensive and unforeseen changes to the scope have led to significant delays. All right. These potential changes, alterations were flagged in the initial risk assessment. Okay. Concerned about the implications of the project's progress, the team request an extension from the stakeholders. All right. Reasonable to ask. What should you do next? Keyword. Conduct a thorough reevaluation of the timeline with input from all stakeholders. Okay. Ensure every scope change has been properly logged and its impact assessed. Okay. Finish the project schedule extend the project schedule as needed to finish the scope. Engage directly with key stakeholders to renegotiate project deliverables and timeline. This is a tricky question. All right, I'm giving you guys that heads up. Tricky. You have to read it very carefully. What answer did you guys get? Answer is B, not A. So first of all, let's eliminate the bad ones. The bad one is you just can't extend the schedule like that. All right, you would need to go through a whole change request process. Engage directly is to renegotiate the deliverables. They don't want to renegotiate. The best thing here is to face the problem. Not just get rid of the problem, redo it all. Now comes A and B. This was a tricky question. So my team member wrote this one, and I almost got it wrong because I wasn't reading fast enough. The mindset tells us if somebody wants to change, assess the thing before making a change, which is what B is. But it says what to do first, what to do next. Before you do that, before you assess the timeline, you better make sure that all those changes were logged, that all the scope changes are there. Because imagine you go and you do A and you forgot to log one of the changes that was there. Now, if you're wondering where do we put this should have been in some kind of change log or issue log or something. So before you do A, do B. This is a common thing on this exam. When you work on this, when you do this test, you got to be careful. Anytime you see what to do first, what do you do next? Remember, put this in order. Say this to yourself before you move on. Out of those 4 choices, am I doing that first or that first? Should you, and that's what we're doing here. Do you review all the changes to the scope are documented and then assess the impact on the timeline? Or do you just assess the impact on the timeline without checking if all the scope changes has been documented? That's how you look at this. 89. As a project manager overseeing a pivotal update to a client software system, you notice a significant lack of engagement from the client side during critical sprint review sessions. Despite this, your team has successfully developed a working prototype that's ready for evaluation. What is the first thing the project manager should do? Send a detailed progress report via email to the client, highlighting the prototype's completion and next steps. Deploy the prototype to the client to gather their feedback. Okay. Schedule a comprehensive review session with the project's technical lead to refine the prototype before client's presentation. Organize a sprint review to actively review the prototype, encouraging their inputs and adjustments. Now, this question, not too difficult. So it seems like there's kind of like a lack of engagement. Maybe what the client is seeing is not what they want. The best thing here to do is to do a sprint review. The only time, I don't want to say the only time, but the main time that a client comes in and gives us feedback on the product is during those sprint reviews. You don't want to just send out an email. It's not just about an email about what we did. We need their input. The point of prototypes is to get input. You just can't deploy the prototype and wait for their feedback. They might not know it exists or they might not use it. The best thing to do is to demonstrate that. Now, this one here, comprehensive review, notice the project's technical lead. Prototypes are meant to be given to customers, not just to the technical leads. You want to get prototypes into the hand of the customer's demonstration, product usage, making D the best answer. And the last question, I know I hate to ask again, but can you click that like button, subscribe to the channel? I know, it's annoying. In the midst of a project's life cycle, a project manager identifies that essential feedback from a vital operational division has been consistently omitted in the planning and execution phases. This negligence has led to widespread dissatisfaction concerning how project outcomes align with operational workflow of this division. What should the project manager do first? Now, we just did a question like this where we talked about what you do first. So let's take a look at this. Change the scope to include the overlooked operational insight. Conduct a comprehensive review of the project's adherence to the organizational policies. Adherence to the organizational policies. Review the communication management plan to understand the current communication channel. Craft a reactive plan to integrate unforeseen operational needs into the project's trajectory. This is not an easy question. It sounds like an easy question. Now, before I give you the answer, I want to point out something. You notice that essential feedback has been consistently omitted. There's a problem there. There's negligence in the flow of some kind of communications, right? This has led to problems. What should you do first? Well, the first thing you want to do is to understand why that problem exists. First of all, a couple of things here we can eliminate. You can't just change the scope like that. It's not you. If it's agile, the scope belongs to the product owner. If it's traditional, it needs to go through a change request. So let's get rid of it. A reactive plan, don't fix a problem yet. Understand the problem before fixing the problem. Get rid of D. C, a comprehensive review of the product. This is the organizational policies. The real problem here is that the feedback was omitted. Get to the root cause of the problem. Okay, so it's not just the organizational policy, it's that there's something wrong in the way communications is getting done. The best thing here we can do is to review that communication management plan. Review that plan. See what's going on. Why was there a disconnect on the plan itself? We can see the best answer. Okay, guys, that concluded this 10 questions. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed these 10 questions. Once again, if you enjoyed this, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. If you want more content like this, if you want more questions, I got about 700 plus questions, 700-800 questions, something like that, in the TIA exam simulator. You can check on the link below for it. About 360 of those, I believe, or 400 of them have video explanations just like this. Some of them are crazy hard. You guys can check that out for the simulator. Also, if you haven't taken your PMP course yet, check out the link below for all my PMP course materials. And with that in mind, I'll see you guys in the next video.